The United Kingdom, the land of tea and football. But let's be real, if you've even had a look at the news at the moment, things aren't looking great here right now. Our public debt is soaring. Government spending is out of control. The economy growing at a staggering 0.1%. And I've even seen people on the news be happy about that. The NHS is in crisis. Energy prices, well, we pay the highest in the world, both consumers and industries. Housing, cost of living, inflation, all in crisis. And let's not forget, our Chancellor literally lied on her CV. But why? Because we have a system designed for failure. The very institutions meant to fix our problems are the cause of them. And today, we're going to talk about how to fix this. Look, honestly, it's a miracle the UK's held out this long. We're a nation that invented the train and split the atom, and yet we can't even build a train line from London to Birmingham without it turning into a national scandal. Billions over budget, years behind schedule, and the solution? Oh, let's just cancel it. Honestly, utterly brilliant. And let's not talk about energy. Can we even build our own nuclear power stations? No. France, China, and Japan do it for us. And yet, we won't even let them build them because it might affect the Welsh language? Right, that makes total sense. So in an energy crisis, we can't build energy infrastructure. In a food crisis, we've decided to tax our farmers to death. In a housing crisis, we can't build more houses. In an infrastructure crisis, we can't build infrastructure. Am I missing something here? So how do we fix this? Well, reform is needed. And no, I'm not talking about Nigel Farage. We need efficiency, transparency, and meritocracy. And most importantly, a government that isn't actively sabotaging itself. But how? How do we do this? Well, let's break it down step by step. Step 1. The Crown Executive Office. First, we need a new ministry. Let's call it the Crown Executive Office. This will be led by the Prime Minister and a separate minister, and it will be focused on overseeing all the other ministries. We will flesh this ministry out with departments and boards later. Step 2, the Public Service Commission. Now, who actually hires, promotes, or fires civil servants? Right now, no one knows because it's a bloated mess. That's why we need a constitutionally independent body, the Public Service Commission, who appoints, promotes, transfers, and fires civil servants, ensures merit-based hiring, confirms CEO appointments for key government agencies, and oversees government scholarships for top talent. Imagine if, instead of getting a government job because you knew someone or because you went to Oxford, you had to actually be good at your job. It's a crazy concept for the UK, I know. The Public Service Commission will be led by a chairman and 5 to 14 independent members, appointed by the King in consultation with the Prime Minister. So this will act as an oversight mechanism over the entire public service. Now, with the Public Service Commission keeping a watchful eye out for transparency, integrity, and meritocracy, who will be in charge of the day-to-day implementation of these? Step 3. The Public Service Division. Now that we have a system to hire people properly, we need the Public Service Division to implement it. This will be placed under the Crown Executive Office as a department. Its role will be to oversee and formulate HR policies, performance management, and workplace planning, develop civil service training and leadership programs, and to make sure government salaries are competitive with the private sector. Right now, civil servants get paid based on seniority, not performance. Imagine if high performers got promoted whilst underperformers got retrained or replaced, instead of staying in their cushy jobs forever. That's what the Public Service Division will enforce. Step 4. The Civil Service College. Now, what happens when you train civil servants like they work for an actual high-performance company? You get a civil service college. This will be placed as a statutory board under the Public Service Division that trains future leaders for the public service, teaches policymaking, governance, and ethics, and brings in global experts for leadership development. Step 5. GovTech. Right now, the UK government IT systems are a joke, and that's where GovTech comes in. This will also be a statutory board under the Crown Executive Office. Its job will be to drive AI adoption, digital infrastructure, and automation within the public sector. This will save us billions by digitizing government services, which will lead to much quicker service delivery and mean that we can reduce the size of the civil service, making sure that we can keep our wages matching to the private sector without breaking the budget. Step 6. Vital. The Shared Corporate Services Department. Right now, every single council and department has its own HR, IT, and procurement. That means wasteful duplication, bloated budgets, and inefficiency. Vital will centralize these services, so payroll, HR, finance, IT, and procurement. It will cut down on outsourcing costs by handling everything in-house, and will achieve massive cost savings due to economies of scale. Thanks to GovTech, it will use automation and AI to track spending in real time. As an example, right now, Islington Council spends £1.1 billion for just 78,000 households. And out of that 1.1 billion, 700 million goes to outsourcing. With Vital, we stop outsourcing everything and actually run government like an efficient system. Step 7. Regional government hubs. Right now, the UK's local government system is a mess. As we spoke about, every council has its own HR, IT, and procurement teams. That's just wasteful duplication. In Islington, there's 5,000 council staff for 78,000 homes. That's absurd. And they spend 1.1 billion a year, but the services keep getting worse. The solution is regional public service hubs. Instead of having hundreds of local councils duplicating services, we consolidate them into 10 standardized regional hubs across the UK. Instead of every council running separate payroll, IT, and HR teams, these hubs will handle everything centrally for their entire region. They could be located in Glasgow, Leeds, Manchester, Birmingham, London, Bristol, Cardiff, and Belfast. Each regional hub will house 3 key divisions: a public service division branch, which will manage civil service hiring, performance reviews, and efficiency audits for the region; a GovTech regional office, which will implement digitization of government services, digital infrastructure, and KPI tracking; and then the Vital regional hub, which will handle payroll, HR, IT, and procurement for all councils in the region, cutting outsourcing costs and saving on duplication massively. An example, the Northwest regional hub in Manchester. It would be a modernized government complex in Manchester, and its functions, as we spoke about, would be to oversee local councils, ensuring councils meet their efficiency targets, managing their digital transformation, and reducing outsourcing waste. Right now, local councils are wasting billions on outsourcing, duplication, and inefficiency. With these regional hubs, all local government services are streamlined, saving billions and improving public service quality. But we also need a national headquarters for Vital, because it's designed to be as consolidated as possible, ensuring that government departments, local councils, and public services all share the same high-performance corporate services. But despite its focus on consolidation, Vital must be strategically decentralized due to the size and complexity of the UK. So, with this national HQ, it will be a nationally unified but regionally responsive corporate services system. So, where would I place the national hub? Birmingham. A purpose-built national government campus in Birmingham. Its functions would be the national HQ for Vital, running shared services for all government departments nationwide, and it would be monitoring public service performance across all regional hubs. Why Birmingham though? Because the UK is too London-centric. Moving the national HQ outside London ensures better regional representation and a more balanced government. Imagine a UK where your council actually works efficiently and doesn't waste taxpayers' money. That's the goal. So, under this system, public service hiring is fixed. Local government waste is being eliminated. The digital transformation is being implemented. And corruption, well, that sounds like a topic for next week's video. But what do you think? Could this work? Or are we already doomed? Drop a comment below and tell me what you think. Please make sure if you enjoyed the video to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. If you guys want much more in detailed videos, I can do big videos diving deep into each department and really fleshing out how I plan for them to work. Next week, we'll be tackling anti-corruption and government auditing.